Welcome, one and all, to an all-new movie review. So in this movie, we're going to be talking about a brand new film that just came out on HBO Max and into theaters on April 23rd, this past Friday. So we're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this video or any other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content and want to see other stuff that I post, go ahead and check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where you can see other cool content. So definitely check those out too. As always, let's get right into this! Welcome, one and all social media platforms and everywhere else. Welcome to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a movie review of a film that just came out this past Friday, April 23rd, onto HBO Max and into theaters. And that happens to be the amazing, awesome reboot of a great franchise that I think was really good, what they made of in the 90s, but also based off of a great video game series that has always been just spectacular and just a really great game series. Then, of course, the film called Mortal Kombat. Ooh, Mortal Kombat. Ah ha ha ha. Mortal Kombat. Ah ha. Oh my god, Mortal Kombat. Hands down, a fantastic film. Really well done. Everything that I was looking for in this film was in this film. And I was really blown away from the special effects to the, cinematography to the dialogue to the action sequences. Everything about this film was exactly what I was looking for in an awesome video game based on movie. And they just did a really spectacular job. Now, this film is none other directed by the first-time director, actually. This is his first time doing a actual movie. This is his directorial debut, and that, of course, is Mr. Simon McQuaid. Oh yeah, McQuaid. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, people. It's either McQuad or McQuaid. I'm not too sure, but he is an Australian, director, but also he's well known for doing several commercials and TV spots over in Australia, actually. But this is his directorial debut. There's not much to say about the fella, but from my understanding and what I've researched, he's done a really good job with, basically doing these commercials like that. And so they thought he was a good fit for the film because he had a great vision for the film. And pretty much what he gave us is exactly what he said he wanted to do with film. He wanted to give fanfare to the fans. He wanted to give them what they want, but also he wanted to up the ante and give us something that was just really well done and just a really great film too as well. And I think that's exactly what he did. He directed it so well. I mean, for everything that he did, like from the look, from the angles, from the cinematography, from, getting what he wanted out of the actors throughout the film, he really got a really great production and a really great film. And he just directed it so beautifully and given us some of the greatest fight choreography I've seen in a long time in a film. And he knew exactly how to get just right the fatalities, and he really studied the video game series and did a fantastic job. Hands down, Simon McQuaid, amazing director. Can't wait to see him do more, hopefully. Hopefully he'll direct the second one of this, in this awesome new series of these Mortal Kombat films. Hands down, I thought he did a really great job, was really amazing at directing, and got exactly what he wanted, and made it just a standout, amazing action based on video game film. So this movie has a really great ensemble cast. Now, a lot of the characters, there was a lot of characters that they put into the film that weren't really part of the main cast. They really were amazing characters, gave us great, anticipation of these different types of characters. Hopefully we'll get to see more of them in future films and get to see just them in more of a capacity. But there really was three main characters, I feel, that were really the main focus of the entire film. Now, a couple of some honorable mentions of these characters are such as Misha Brooks as the amazing Jax, who has a really cool, origin story in the film. He has some pretty good, on-time screen time, but not as much as the others. We also have Joe Towson that plays the amazing, Sub-Zero, who is really awesome and amazing in this film. There's so many great characters that, they're not a part of the main cast, but just were so good in the film. But I'm really going to be talking about the three main characters who really you see majority of the film. Now, to start us off with this amazing cast is none other than Cole Young himself. But that actor happens to be the guy known as Lewis Tan. Oh yeah, Lewis Tan. Ooh, Lewis Tan. Ooh. So Lewis Tan is known as a stunt guy, actually. He's done a lot of stunts for films over the years. He was a stuntman for Pirates of the Caribbean, World's End. Now, a couple of films that he's actually been in that I've had the chance of seeing him act in are as such. Now, the first film happens to be a 2018 film that is an amazing sequel and a great Marvel Universe type of film that has one of the greatest iconic, funny superheroes with the most foulest mouth ever. And then, of course, the film called Deadpool 2. Oh yeah, Deadpool 2. Ooh. Lewis Tan actually plays Battlestar in the film, who, it's not a huge, acting gig, but still, it was so funny and a great, just a great position and acting ability that he showed in the film, because because he's a stuntman, everything you saw in the film was actually him doing these things. And playing Battlestar and one of the X-Force people, he just did a really great job. I mean, his sword fighting sequence and just like how he moved and all that kind of stuff, he just really brought to great life onto the big screen. And I thought Lewis did a great job of bringing that and just gave us this really great interpretation of who Battlestar would be. And I just enjoyed that combination with all the other people that he was, supposed to be a part of the X-Force with. And I just thought he did a really good job and showed that he has some pretty decent acting chops. If you haven't seen Deadpool 2, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's a great film, and Lewis Tan was really good in it as Battlestar. So that brings me to the second film that Mr. Lewis Tan was in that I've actually seen. And that, of course, is a great sequel film and a great trilogy of films that came out in the early 2000s, or I should say mid-2000s. And this is its final conclusion film that just made it so fun and so awesome and just really wrapped up the story. And that, of course, is a film called The Hangover 3. Oh, yeah, The Hangover 3. Ooh, Hangover 3. Ooh. Absolutely love that film. It's so sick and funny. Mr. Chow, all the different characters, that are in this film, Alan and, Lou and all these characters, just so freaking funny. And Mr. Lewis Tan actually plays a prison guard at the prison that Mr. Chow is in at the beginning of the film. And it's funny because, you really don't recognize him because he's so, in the costume and stuff like that, and he's, very different looking than what you've seen him in. And looking back at this and rewatching that film and seeing that, little portion that Lewis Tan does, he did such a great job. Even though it wasn't really much to go with, it still was a really fun little part and really showed Lewis's, acting ability, especially with expressions. He's very similar to Jackie Chan, I feel. He has really great facial expressions as he's acting, and he acts through his, facial expressions, and I think he does a great job with that. And actually, Lewis Tan also did a lot of the stunts throughout The Hangover 3 too as well, so I think that's really cool. We got to see a lot of his stunt work as well. So he is just an all-around amazing actor, individual, stuntman. Hands down, like I was saying before, he is so good in this film. I absolutely love him as Cole Young. I love the attention to detail he brought to bringing to life the character of Cole Young, just from his beginning to the end of the film, and him becoming this master that he is, being a part of the tournament and stuff like that, and just how well done he just brought that character from A to B. And I thought it was a really well done performance, and I really enjoyed Lewis. Thought he did a good job. If you haven't seen Mortal Kombat yet for Lewis Tan, definitely check him out. He is amazing as Cole Young. So that brings me to the second actress I'm going to be talking about that's in this film. And that is none other than Sonya Blade herself, Miss Jessica McNamara. Oh yeah, McNamara, woo, Jessica, woo. So Jessica McNamara is hands down super badass. This girl did all her own stunts in the film. She was on point with her fight choreography, and she just brought a great amazing sense to Sonya Blade in this film. I really enjoyed her interpretation versus Bridget Wilson's interpretation in the 1995 version. Now, Jessica McNamara has been around for many years. She's done a lot of films, lots of different things, and is just a really versatile actress, I feel. Now, a couple of films I've seen her in, she's actually been pretty decent in. And then, of course, one film that she was in that I really enjoyed her in was a great comedy film that's based on a TV series that Dax Shepard did with Michael Pena called Chips. Oh yeah, called Chips. Ooh. So I know a lot of people didn't care for this film, but I absolutely loved this film. I think it was super hilarious, super funny, a great, OD to the original TV series, but with a lot of great comedy flair and just a really funny script. And Jessica McNamara plays a character in the film that is just on point hilarity. And I just thought she did a really good job of bringing out her comedy chops. How good she is at comedy too, besides being this badass type of character. And I know she's done a lot of different genres. She's done comedy, she's done action, she's done drama, and she really brought to light how good she is and versatile she is with this acting ability in Chips. She just was really funny in it, and I enjoyed her character in the film, interacting with all the different characters throughout the film. And I just thought she did a really good job, and I really enjoyed it. I just think she gave a really well-rounded performance in the film. It was a great addition to Chips, the film. If you haven't seen Chips, definitely give it a try, people. Give it a try. It's totally worth it. It's super funny and fun, and Dax Shepard was amazing in it. So that brings me to the second film that Jessica McNamara was in. Now, this is an amazing film that just came out in 2018 that is based on an amazing book series, which I've actually read 5 of the books so far. And it's just based on one of the most badass sharks ever to roam this earth. And she actually plays an interesting title character in the film. And then, of course, the film called The Meg. Oh, yeah, The Meg. Ooh. So this is based on a book series, like I said, that I've read four of the books so far, by Steve Alton. And it's basically about if a megalodon had survived being extinct, came out from the Mariana Trench, and basically terrorized like Jaws does. And Jessica McNamara plays one of the characters' wives in the film, who is played by Jason Statham, Mr. Taylor. She plays Lori Taylor, which the character actually, they changed it very much from how the book was, because her character in the book had a way different outcome than she does in the actual movie. But Jessica did an amazing job of bringing to life this character. I really enjoyed her interpretation of it. It was very different than what the book was, because you actually liked her more in the actual movie versus the actual book. Because the character in the book was very much different, very darker, very more just evil type of character, and just was doing all these unthinkable things, behind Jonas's back. And just the characterization they brought to the film was a lot different, but I thought Jessica did an amazing job of bringing it to life, giving us this different characterization of the character, giving us a little bit of the essence of that character in the book, but also just a really great addition to that film, and worked really well with Jason Statham and everyone else in the film. Just really enjoyable characterization, and I really enjoyed her performance in the film, and she was a great addition. If you haven't seen The Meg yet, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's such a great film, amazing film, definitely a great shark film. If you love shark films, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's worth the watch. So like I was saying before, Jessica McNamara was really amazing as Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat. I really enjoyed her from the very first moment she popped up on the screen to her very last moment on the screen. She just was so amazing in this film. Like I said, for everything from her fight choreography to her, written script, to her lines, to everything that she was a part of in her interactions with everyone, just was really well-rounded and a great take on Sonya Blade. If you haven't seen Mortal Kombat yet, definitely go check it out in theaters now or on HBO Max. It is totally worth the watch for Jessica McNamara. So this brings me to the final actor I'll be talking about that was in this film. And that is none other than Kano himself, Mr. Josh Lawson! Oh yeah, Josh Lawson! Woo! Josh Lawson! Oh my god. Kano was absolutely perfection in this film. He was Kano to the T. He was so good, and Josh Lawson brought this character so much to life. He was so much better than the original Kano in the 95 film. He just was hands down Kano to the T. Now, Josh Lawson has been in quite a few films over the years. He's an Australian actor. He's awesome. He's amazing, and I've pretty much always enjoyed him in anything I've seen him in. Now, a couple films I've seen him in and thought he was pretty decent in are as such. Now, the first film happens to be a 2019 based on an actual true story about one of the leading guys that owned Fox News. And then, of course, the film called Bombshell. Oh, yeah, Bombshell. Ooh, Bombshell. Ooh. So Bombshell basically tells a story about basically Fox News at the time. The one main head guy that was running Fox News, he had a giant, basically, suit against him. All these women come saying that he was inappropriate with them. And basically the movie is basically about his demise. And Josh Lawson actually plays one of the sons of the owner of Fox News that's trying to get John Lithgow's character out of office, basically, to get him to, basically to retire or such, or to step down, basically. And he was really good in the film. He played the character very well. He gave us the really great essence of that actual character, and I just thought he did a really well-rounded job with the film. If you haven't seen Bombshell, definitely give it a roll, people. It's worth a watch. Not the greatest film, but definitely a very interesting film to watch and take on that true story. So that brings me to the second film that Mr. Josh Lawson was in that I enjoyed him in. Now, this is a classic film that came out in 2014. It's a sequel to the great film that came out in 2004 of the same name. And it's just a great Will Ferrell character that just was on point, hilarity, funny, and just fun. And that, of course, is the film called Anchorman 2, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Oh, yeah. Anchorman 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Such a freaking hilarious film. Such an amazing film. And Josh Lawson plays a character that is basically interacting with, the amazing Will Ferrell. He actually plays kind of like the main kind of villain in the film. And he's the one that's kind of like trying to take down the company and try to not be taken down for his company because of the evil things he's doing with the airlines and so forth. And Josh just does a great job of playing this character. He's super funny, super hilarious, very heavy Australian accent as the character, and is just really on point, funny, and just worked really well with everyone that he interacted with, from Steve Carell, Paul Rudd. If you haven't seen Anchorman 2 yet, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Super funny and hilarious. It's just a really fun film, and Josh was really amazing in the film. So like I was saying before, Josh Lawson played Kano to the T. From his action sequences to his lines to his just interactions with everyone was so perfect as Kano. And he just really brought a great light to this film. And I just thought he interacted so well with everyone and gave us a really well-rounded performance that just really made the film very enjoyable. And just made you feel like you're really seeing Kano from the video games. That's just how good he was at it. And I just loved his interaction with Cole Young and Sonya Blade and with the other characters that he interacts with, down the line, Liu Kang and so forth. And he just really brought a great essence to this character and gave us a really great Kano performance. Really well done. If you haven't seen Mortal Kombat yet, definitely check out Josh Lawson, and he was perfection as Kano. So what is Mortal Kombat about? Basically, the premise of the story is there are certain people that are donned this tattoo, basically, on their body that is a dragon. And these people end up being picked for a giant tournament that the whole universe has to fight to be the ultimate, person. And you fight in a thing that's called Mortal Kombat, where you basically fight the most strongest people of all the different universes and so forth. So throughout the film, basically, the premise is the character of Cole Young basically is trying to figure out who he is and kind of to learn about this Mortal Kombat and kind of what Mortal Kombat's about, and to save the world at the same time, so that the evil side of the universe doesn't take over the entire universe, and basically, find himself to, revenge his, line, his, basically his essence of his, family line and so forth, and, basically just try to save the world with the other people that he's interacting with, that he's working with, from Jax to Sonya Blade and so forth. And, pretty much it's to try to basically save the world is what the movie's about. It's in a well done performance. I know a lot of people dislike that they didn't really have a tournament in the film, but I understand why. I knew this is more of like a kind of an origin story to kind of reboot it and give us a essence of what Mortal Kombat's about, because they still, even though they didn't have an actual tournament, you saw them fight each other. You saw them kind of have that kind of combat like they do in the video games. And just they did such a great job and really brought it to life and just gave us this really great, amazing new reboot of Mortal Kombat. Hands down, amazing film. From the fatalities were on point, perfection. Everything about this film was so good. I hands down watched it twice in a row because that's how good it was. It was just so amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out in theaters now on HBO Max. It is so worth the watch. It's a great reboot and can't wait to see more of this awesome series. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any of my older, newer stuff you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, people, check out my awesome links down below where you can get to my Patreon page or to the awesome horror pack. And if you love seeing my content and want to show some support, definitely check out my Patreon page where you can see bloopers, outtakes, upcoming projects, all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check that out, people. As always, I'll catch you in the next one.